Howdy, folks. Happy Tuesday. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of a late start today. Apparently don't know how to use the alarm on my phone. Just crazy. But, so, we're moving on here, seeing if we can get to our databases project, our databases section here, chapters 2021. Should be a lot of fun. And then we'll move into project 3 as well. So I think, let me grab this one here. We moved project 2 out, right? So this one's not due till the 29th. So we got another week on project 2. So we'll do a little more time before we start the next project too. Things have been a little bit behind schedule, but that's okay. I think we'll be all right. So maybe on the 29th, then we'll get to project 3. And that should be fine. We'll have 2 weeks to work on that one till the 12th. So we can start the final project on the 5th if you want to get started on it. Definitely want to make sure you have time to work on that one, because that one is worth the most points, right? And that's where we want to focus, is that final project. So this one will just be some interesting, fun stuff here, right? And it makes up 40%. So I'll make sure you have enough time on that. And I think we'll do project 3 will probably be a little smaller in scale. I don't think we need to do quite as much. Just want to give you some experience working with databases there, though. So let's see if we can't get this started here. I'll fire up Intellij, and we'll get moving. Hope you have your coffee. Ooh, it's a little chunky at the bottom. That's different. That's a little different, yep. All right, so let's see if that'll fire up here. Maybe. Okay, there's Intellij. Hey, Professor Burp, thanks for dropping on by, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, this summer. Fantastic. Yeah, that's right. Summer enrollment is open. Definitely. So, and I think I posted, there's a OCC summer momentum. Oh, is that it? Oh, I almost had it. There it is. Look at that. Oh, for Python. Fantastic. That should be a lot of fun. So you have till April 22nd to apply for the Summer Momentum Scholarship. So if you've got 18 to 23 credits, they'll pay for 3 credits worth. If you have 24 more credits, they'll pay for 6 credits worth here of courses in your academic plan of study. That might be tricky with an elective, unfortunately. Now I'm thinking about it here. I'll check with them and see. But if you're still working on your major courses for academic plan of study, take a look and see if this is something that might work for you. All right. Oh, nice. That's awesome. All right, so start up a new project here. All right, and should be fine. Let's see. Do we want to do? Maybe we could do the Maven project. I think the regular Java one should be fine for this. Good shot. Make sure we put it in the right folder. 51, 2022, and then we'll call this databases. Yeah, we're trying to move over to Intellij because that beans made me sad enough. Was tired of working with it. All right, we'll create our folder for databases, which is good. Do it in this current window. Awesome. So database connectivity. We've worked with files, and we did the binary file types, and files are all well and interesting and good. But it's not really a way to share data across multiple applications. You know, if more than one person is running a program, they don't want them accessing the same file. It's not going to work well. So for anything really that needs to support multi-user file access or data access, we need to take advantage of some database technology. And there's all sorts of databases, database vendors and products and things. So we're not going to really get too much into the database side of things. What we want to do is look at how we can take Java and connect it to a database. So it can go and essentially you do these CRUD operations. You create data, you read data, you update data, and you delete data. So you say CRUD. It is a pretty common term for that. So we're going to look at different operations for interacting with data in a database. And then databases are really good at and made for multi-user access. So multiple people can be accessing it and creating and reading and updating and deleting at the same time, or essentially the same time, right? Nothing ever actually happens simultaneously on a computer. It just does it really, 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 really fast. Okay? So to do that, we need to get a new driver. So we need another library here that lets us connect to, all of the database instance that we want. So there's different vendors, right? Microsoft has Microsoft SQL Server. Oracle has Oracle. There's a MySQL database, which is a free open source database, which is pretty popular. So there's a couple different ones you can work with out there. But what we want, the one we're going to work with is the Sql Lite. So Sql Lite gives us essentially an easy way to have a nice, small, compact database. It's light here so that we don't need to deal with all that overhead of an actual database relational database management system product that we have to manage. So we're just going to use it's essentially a file here, but we get to interact with it as if it were a database. Okay, so we need to go and figure out the correct SQLite library or the jar that we need to use for it. So let's see if we can just go find our little download here. Oh goodness. Well, that was not a good site then. Sqlite. Wow, that's a lovely looking page. Sure. So we want to use this small little driver here that we can connect to it. Let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, so I'll post the link to it on D2L once we get the file here. So there's unfortunately a bunch of different versions. It's kind of weird here. So we just need the Sqlite jar here. Let's go make sure we get that one. Let's see. Where'd it go? I don't have to do any of that. I just want to download it. Goodness. Sqlite. Is that a different download? So the book had you go with one that was already like contained. I wanted to go find the actual like latest version here. Download. There we go. Is this, I don't want the DLL. I want the jar. Where'd it go? All right, must not be Googling it right. So we don't have to download all that. Sqlite Jar. Right, a couple different options. I wanted the one from their site, but that's okay. Download Sqlite. Ah. See this one? Find it here. Of course. Sqlite JDBC. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Interesting. So it said NetBeans came with it, and I was hoping we could just add it here, but that was not. Let's do more Googling here. Might be able to do that Maven thing. J Sqlite Jar. See if this is what we want here. No, it's not even telling us. Creating a database. No, we want the. Set this up. It seems bad that their link here is not working. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Sqlite Intellij. Here we go. Yeah, this is what we want here. Don't want the ultimate version though. Can we do this in the community version? Let's see. No, that's not what I wanted. Does it mean it only works in Ultimate? Probably means it only works in Ultimate, isn't it? That's obnoxious. Well, that's not helpful. How about this one? We'll get there. We'll find the right one here. Working with module dependencies. So what we want? I don't think that's what we want. I don't want to go back to NetBeans. I don't want to do that. All right, let me try this real quick. Let's try. See on the version of Intellij here, because I forgot to downgrade my version. I meant to do that and totally forgot. Let's check the virtual machine real quick. See what's up with those. We'll see what we get here. Because now I'm curious. I'm going to make sure it's going to work. Oh, I need more coffee again. Intellij. All right, so let's try it with the community version here. I should have just downgraded mine. Let's see what we get. New project. I'm just doing this one for test real quick. It's fine. It's fine. And sure. Untitled project. Why not? And then there's our. I gotta grab that other instructions here. View, tools window, tools window. Yeah, there's no database option here. I probably have it here, right? View, tools window. Oh no, is it not even there? How do I have it on my version? That's interesting. Data source. Data source and drivers. Services, maybe? Add a service. All right, friends. This was supposed to be easier. I'm sad with Intellij here. I just want the jar file. That's fine. That's fine. We'll bail out of this. I'm going to try here on NetBeans. We'll see. It's going to make me sad. We'll see if we can find it here on NetBeans a little more easily. Yeah. Come on. Databases and tools. Oh, because I have education is not ultimate, so I don't have the link either. Of course. That's fine. We just want the Sql Lite jar. Download. Let's see if we can find it in here. Sql Lite. Let's try that one. Oh, I just want to download. That's right. All right. This might be what we want here. Let's see. That looks doable. All right, cool. So I found a jar. Let's give this one a shot here. Let's see if this is going to behave for us. Go grab that here. All right, and let's go put it in our folder, documents, GitHub, 2151. Let's drop it in here for right now. If this works, I'll put it out in D2L for you. Okay, there. All right, so we want to add a new. My goodness. Add that to our library here. That's what I get for switching. Is that in our project? My goodness. Guess I need one of these links here. Add a new dependency. Project structure, click modules and dependencies. Can't follow directions, friends. File project structure. Aha! Project structure. There we go. Here's our modules. I'm going to go add a dependency. Add a jar. Add our Sqlite jar. All right. Yay. Now it shows up here. Similar process in NetBeans. Let me start a new project here. We'll go through the same steps to add our jar here. So just Java Ant, Java application. This in 2151. Databases, NetBeans. There we go. We'll make sure it works in both. Cool. I can just go make a database. Here, it's on here. We'll steal some code. So if we want to make a database here, well, we'll just take our whole function, right? Why not? The whole method. We'll try it here. And then we'll cite our source. Right? Always cite your source. So let's not put it here. Yeah, that's fine. So it'll put it in our C drive in a directory called Sql Lite file database folder with the file name that we give it here. Let's add some imports here. Alt-Enter. And import the class. Now, we want ones not from ComSun stuff here. We want just the java.sql stuff. Let's go import this one. Import this one. Import this one. Let's see. Okay, so it'll import a bunch of java.sql stuff here. And let's see if we can't make a database. Nope, that didn't copy paste. That's fine. So create new database. And we'll call this one Intellij test. Okay. .db. DB is a nice little convention for it. We'll try a similar thing here with NetBeans. So they said NetBeans already had the package, which was nice. So NetBeans has a couple built-in packages. So you go libraries, you want to add a jar. Or is it add library? Maybe it's in add library. It might have had it in here. Let's see. Postgres. No. I don't see the Sql Lite. Okay, so I'm not seeing it like I thought they said it was there. That's okay. So we'll just do the same thing. So you go to your libraries, you add a jar. We'll go add our jar for it. Where will we put it here? Add our Sqlite jar. Excuse me. All right, let's give it a shot here. Let's see if we can make our database first from Intellij. Class not found. So if it doesn't load it properly, you have to go in and tell it specifically what driver to load. So sometimes it gets really confused, which is annoying that it doesn't pick up the right one here. Let me go grab this. There's a line that we need to use. Here. So we're going to try, before we load this up, we're going to use this little try block here and see if we can't get it to find it. We try class.forName org Sql Lite.jdbc. And I'll see if it'll make it load this class, and then we're going to catch the class not found exception. Oops. Print out the exception. We'll see if we can't make it, like, force it to load this Sqlite driver here. Java gets silly sometimes. No, it still doesn't find it. Oh, goodness. Why is it not finding it here? It's not doing our automatic driver loading. Should just grab it there. Let's see if it's, yeah. Sqlite JDBC, yep. NetBeans, oh, that's right. So yeah, NetBeans has the MySQL database, is what it is. Already built in here. All right, we'll try the link for the book, I guess. Let's just go to Bitbucket. Bitbucket.org. Sqlite JDBC / downloads. Is that where we were? Is that where we got it from? I don't think that's where we got it from. Repository not found. Bitbucket.org. Sqlite JDBC. Nice. Yep. It's not there. Okay, so that link didn't work. I didn't think so. Thought that was no good. What fun. I wonder if we can get it. Yeah, that's the... Alright, we'll try it here in NetBeans first, see if we have any luck with that. And if not, nope, why didn't you copy? And then paste. There we go. So I'll try commenting that out for a second. We'll add our imports. No, not become sun. Not Java SQL. That's weird. Import java.sql. Let's do .star. Okay, that made that happy. And then we'll try it here. We'll try creating a database. This is netbeans.db. Sure. See if we have any better luck here. I'll cross my fingers. that's a different message. Yeah, Intellij was not behaving nicely, loading up our driver like we wanted. So we'll see. Path to C Sql Lite does not exist. Okay, so we gotta make a folder first? Sure, we'll make a folder first. Go to our C drive, make a folder called Sql Lite. We'll try it again. All right, folder DB doesn't exist. That's fine. We'll make a folder for it called DB. No biggie. We'll make our folders. Ducks. Let's try it again. Look at that. That's kind of fancy. It loaded up the driver. We now have a database file. So why is Intellij being stupid? All right, let's try one other thing with Intellij, because I think we can get this to work. I think we can get it to work. So let's do a Maven project. So Maven's one of the things Maven does is let you manage dependencies really nicely. We'll see if it works with their automatic stuff here. So here is databases in Intellij. Let's see how well that goes for us here. And let's do it in another window because I want to keep most of that. And then we can grab this section here because we want to add a dependency for Sql Lite here. Let's see what we get here. Now we can add it all later. That's fine. Let's see if we can do this. File. Project structure. Modules, dependencies. Add a new module dependent. Oh, add a new library from Maven. Then I think we can just point it at this. Let's see what we get. I think we want to download it too. Is that going to find it? Nope, I didn't like that. I just do Sql Lite, JDBC. Click the plus symbol. Oh, this one, up there, okay. Look at that, there's a bunch of Sql Lites. So you just did this plus? Ah. And imported the module? No, that's not what we want. Because we don't have the same... I thought it was add it with Maven. Sql Lite. Yeah, so adding the Spring Framework with the plus as a module. I think this will work for us. Let's try this. See if we can't get it to cooperate. Oh, I'm doing the wrong Sql Lite. JDBC. That's what we wanted, right? There we go. So let's see which one we want here. I think the org xserial one is probably the one we want. Plus new module. Cool. It says, hey, look, we made a new jar for us, a Sqlite jar. Let's try that. Oh, it didn't actually add it. Hang on. Why didn't it check the box? Is that what we did wrong? Are we good now? We don't have a new main file yet. Okay, we're going to go add our file here. We have the library, though. Good. We have the library. So we have the jar. So let's add a new Java class here. We'll call this our databases in Intellij. It's fine. Come on. Why didn't it add a module? All right, we're going to add a module first, because that's ugly. A package. Databases in Intellij. Drop it in the package. Okay, now we have our code in a package. Now we'll see if we can't copy paste this stuff. Whoa. Just copy. And we're going to try not doing this yet. See if we can't make this run. We'll make the tool work for us one of these days, even if we have to beat it. It's thinking hard about it. Ah, okay. Sweet. So adding the jar didn't work, but adding the Maven dependency did. So that's fun, right? I mean, that's what Maven is designed for, to be a, pull in dependencies and manage them for us. So I'm happy. Added it to the library, loaded it properly. We didn't even have to do that class 4 name nonsense. So we don't need to mess with the jar if we're using Intellij. We did need the jar if we're doing NetBeans to load up our Sqlite jar. Okay. But now that we have a database, notice this is a get connection, which is cool. So all we're doing is getting a connection to a database. If it doesn't exist, it's going to go make it for us, which is pretty sweet. The downside is if you expect there to be a database and you try and connect to it, it might just be empty. So that's kind of the rough side of things here, which is no fun. So let me get rid of that databases project. All right, we're getting there. So now we have 2 empty database files. Let's go to documents. I got to clean out some of this stuff here now. GitHub 2151 for the winter. So that first databases project was no good. I'm going to delete that one. With databases in Intellij and databases NetBeans, we're fine. So the NetBeans version, we have the Intellij version. Both work okay for us. So did I add it to the POM? Is that what it did? I didn't even add I thought I would add that as a dependency. That's fine. That's fine. All right. All that work just to get a connection to a database. Now we actually have to do database stuff. So there's no prereq, and I don't know if anyone has taken our Intro to Database Systems course yet. So all the database stuff that we're going to need to do, I'm going to help definitely walk you through it here. So the book has a sample database we could go download and query, and query is the technical term for asking a database for information. That's the reading part of CRUD. Generally, you want to read stuff out when you query it. Also, though, a query can update, insert, and delete data. It gets a little confusing when you query a database, but it's a couple fun terms there. So we'll look at creating data, we'll look at reading data, we'll look at updating data, we'll look at deleting data. But before we can do any of that, a database needs what's called a schema. You have to tell it the design, the layout of each individual table. And a table you can kind of think of similar to like an Excel spreadsheet, which is, I think people usually cringe when I give that example, but that's okay. It's just rows and columns. So you tell it what the columns are, and then we can add rows at a time. So if I were to make a database here, let's pretend we have a table here. So if we wanted to have some items for sale, we would say, hey, I want an items table. Okay, so this is the items table. In the table, then, we're going to have different columns, and the columns will represent different things. So I'm probably going to have maybe the SKU column here. That will nicely, uniquely identify any item that I have for sale by SKU, right? By this little fancy barcode there. Okay, so we could have a SKU. Let me actually bump that down one here. So we'll make this like the header. So we can have a SKU. We'll probably have the product name or the item name. We'll probably have the price. And we'll probably have the quantity on hand. So I'm just going to leave it as quantity for now. But so like I've got 100 of these things that I want to sell. So these are the columns that we define here. And then each row is an instance of an item. Actually, item table, right? Not plural generally. So one row here then with a particular SKU, particular name, price, and quantity. So we could say SKU 1, 2, 3 for coffee. Price at $1.99, and we'll say we've got a dozen of those things, right? One row is one value, one item, essentially. And we can add in more things and more things and more things here. Maybe SKU 2, 3, 4 might be for hot dogs. Hungry. And hot dogs will sell at $2.99, and say we've got 20 packs of hot dogs. And maybe this was an individual hot dog. Maybe this was like a pack of uncooked hot dogs. We could be more descriptive here. We'd have to figure out exactly what we want to sell. But what we do is we define the table. So we create a table with these given columns here. Then once we have a table, then I can go and create data in the table. I can insert data. I can read the data from the table, or query the data from the table. I can update the data in the table, or I can delete the data in the table. So we'll do those common operations once we have a table. Okay? So this took way too long to get set up here. I don't want to get too much further because we still have Thursday as well. So I think what we want to do is whichever tool you're using, Intellij or NetBeans, let's just get you up and running. Make sure you can get the empty database file set up in your like Sql Lite folder here. And I think we'll call that pretty good because that's a good first step. If you can get that going, then we'll be in good shape for next time. Okay, so that's what I want to do for lab is just get the empty file created here. So I'll add that jar to D2L here. Add a little content. We'll add a new module here. So here's the Sql Lite. That looks terrible. Sql Lite Jar. So we need this one for NetBeans here. Goodness. I'm losing it, friends. Where'd it go? Documents. GitHub. CIS 2151. So here's the jar. We'll need... Nope. Oh my goodness. The drag and drop in Windows 11 got worse. Got actually worse. You used to, like, when you went to drag something, it would make the window show up on top, and now it doesn't. Like, it won't pop it up. Okay, I can't upload a jar directly, so let's zip it. Okay, we'll have a zipped version of this one here. Press to zip file. There we go. So you'll just need to unzip it or use the Maven version. All right, so that'll be for our next lab. Just get that up and running because we need to get the database working so we can actually work with creating data, updating data, reading data, deleting data on Thursday. And then next week when we get to our project, we'll do a project interacting with the database. Okay, so it'll be lab 9. Classrooms. So it's 2151, picture 2022, lab 9. So Java template, there we go. All right, cool. Well, this is 9 Sql Lite. So do for next week to make sure we can get those up and running, and then on Thursday we'll do one last lab, actually working with the data. Once we've got it here, we'll just get you up and running here. Labs. Feedback, pull request. Using NetBeans or Intellij. Get the database file created without errors. NetBeans. Download, unzip, and add the jar. Intellij, use a Maven project, and add the dependency to dependency. Okay, there's too many words here. We wanted to, where do we even find that? Set project structure. I think the xserial one is probably the one we want here. At least that one worked for us, us being me. Okay. All right, cool. So that's what we're going to work on today. Make sure we can get that up and running, whichever tool you prefer. And then on Thursday, we can actually go from there and start using it for some more interesting stuff. Okay, folks? All right, sorry, today was a little crazy. Obviously, the book's a little stale, unfortunately. Probably one of the reasons why it's so cheap. So we had to do a little bit of improvising here, okay? All right, folks, if you got any questions, thoughts, concerns, let me know. If not, I'll see you on Thursday. Take care, everybody.